Happy Halloween, everyone. One thing as a real estate agent I always get asked is, have you ever been into a haunted house? So I can't answer that specifically, but I have definitely dealt with some situations that have made me feel a little bit batty, and just wanted to share my top 3 scary moments in real estate with all of you. I would say my top actual ghost experience in real estate was one of my very first open houses that I sat. It was at a listing that was not mine, and it was a really terrible, rainy, dreary day. So I had got to the open house, got things set up. It was very, very cold in the house, even though the furnace was on. I immediately noticed that, but no one really came. So after an hour and a half, I did notice that next door there was an elderly lady that had been looking out the window into the house. So I just kind of waved over to her, and then finally she had come down the steps and in her property, and I realized like she can't make it the whole way over here, but she definitely wanted to talk to me. So I came outside and then I talked to her, and she explained to me that the house was actually built by her father, that they lived there, and that her sister had recently died in the house, and that's why it was being sold as part of the estate. And she said that she sometimes sees her sister in the house, and when she was looking out the window and I was over there, that's what she was looking for, realizing that it was me doing the open house. So we had a little conversation, and I was like, okay, well, she wanted to come do a tour of the house, which she did, and she kind of got teary-eyed because it was a house she grew up in, and just not seeing it with her sister there. And we had an emotional moment, and then I helped walk her back to her house. She must have been 90 years old, and then came back to clean everything up and close up. When I came back to the house, I immediately felt really strange, and there was this smell of flowers or something in the air, and I had no candles burning or anything. But then I looked around, and in the kitchen, 2 of the windows had been open, and the one above the sink, which directly led into the neighboring house's window, which was above their sink, which is where the elderly lady I had seen was over there looking, was open. And it really freaked me out because when I was talking with her, she said that her and her sister would stand over the sinks and do dishes, and they put their windows down and they would talk to each other while they were doing that. So I immediately got freaked out, and I just like shut the windows, and I was like, okay, I'm out of here. It was sweet, but just like really a scary scenario that I just thought was way too coincidental for what she had just told me. Scenario number 2 is not really about a ghost situation. It's more like a horror film, and if I was going to die in one, this is how it would be. So I was showing actually my sister, who was getting into investing some investment properties. So we were running around all over the area looking at different properties, and we showed up to this one specific property that was supposed to have the tenants gone, so we could come in and do the walkthrough. We show up and we see a man walk out of the back door and welcome us into the house. I'm caught off guard a little bit. I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to be gone. And he was like, oh no, I'm always here for the tours. And we were like, okay. So we kind of came in, and upon entering the back door into the kitchen, we immediately noticed that there is a lot of stuff everywhere, and he did not have running water, but there were 2 little dogs following him around that were wearing princess outfits, but the house was completely cluttered with stuff. And laying on all the clutter were like these skin faces and mannequin heads. He said he dabbled with being a professional makeup artist. The guy is like 65, 70 years old. Doesn't look like he left that house in a really long time, but I said, okay. But the skin faces were strewn about the entire house. My sister and I were like pretty freaked out about it, but as we tour in the kitchen and navigate through all of the pathways and the junk, we come into a room that is actually pristinely clean and open, with lights and a backdrop and all these little outfits hanging up on hangers and a little stool and cameras. And this guy said that's his dog's room, and he does social media where he takes pictures of his dogs and then posts them and sends them out to people. So that was very strange to me, but okay. So we go upstairs, we're walking around, and he's insisting we go into the attic. He's like, I gotta show you the attic. I have to show you the attic. We're like, nah, we don't want to see the attic. And he's like, oh, you need to look at the roof, don't you, and the windows? And I was like, okay, we probably should take a look at it. So we go up to the attic, which he follows us up there, and there is just mannequins with painted faces in the entire attic. It was extremely weird, and he wanted to show us his makeup art that was up there, and we just were like, yeah, no, I think we're just gonna go. If you have any questions, we'll get in touch with the seller. We're the seller's real estate agent. So we kind of like had to force our way down. He wanted us to stay for snacks with him, which I don't even know what that would look like, but we just like seriously beelined it out of that house. And to this day, it was really the creepiest showing I've ever had with a property, even in investment properties where I'd see a lot of stuff. And the third scenario just recently happened to me in a property that I was doing a video walkthrough for. I had been there a couple times already. It's a very, very old home. The basement, basements always freak me out a little bit, but there was, for some reason, the basement had like chains attached to the wall and boxes of chains in there. So I just kind of always was a little bit uncomfortable. But I was doing a video walkthrough of this house, like I normally do, just talking about the rooms and what was there and what it looked like. And then nothing really happened. Closed up, turned lights off, came home. And when I was at home, I started editing the video as I do. And I put the captions on the video that I had already edited. And when I get to the end of this video, the captions where I'm not speaking come up and they start reading obscenities in the background. And I put it through a whole bunch of different systems, and I'm playing it over and over again and wondering if it's misreading footsteps or something. But as I'm hearing it, it is very clear as day that the microphone was picking up something that I didn't hear that was saying over and over again. I'm not going to say what it was saying, but it was really, really, really creepy. So, you can take that as it is, but I was very freaked out about it. So there you have it. Those are my top 3 scary stories when it comes to my job and what I do. So if you have any scary stories, real estate or otherwise, comment below and like.